Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of our Water is Love live talks. Today, with one of my biggest ecological heroes. We are here with Rajendra Singh, also known as the Waterman of India, who is an Ayurvedic doctor and a water conservation leader for over 40 years, chairman of Tarun Bharat Sangh, an organization that created probably the world's biggest example of decentralized water, decentralized community-driven water management, greening a desert, making many rivers flow again. Rajendra Singh is also one of our main protagonists in Water is Love, and we have a chance today to talk more about his work, his experience, what drives him, and it's really, yeah, I'm so honored to have you as a mentor and as a friend, also personally in my life. And you are really, like, for me, one of the most inspiring people on the planet because, the trends of climate collapse, of ever more drought and flood, but also of growing urbanization and commercialization, they just seem so inevitable because humanity is marching in this direction. But your work really shows that it's possible to create alternatives in the opposite direction, to restore nature, to create more community, to create spaces outside of the capital logic, and to do this at big scale. So thank you so much, Rajendra, for joining us from
Thank
Delhi
you very
today.
much.
And I would like to start just asking you a bit about your personal story. Like, um, how did you start being the Waterman of India? Like, what actually got you involved working with water?
Yes, you know my history. But yes, again, you are asking. So I tell you, basically, my grandfather, my native village, Dola in UP at India, near Delhi. So that village is a very good land and very good soil and very good water. But every year, that village suffering flood. So I asked to my grandfather, that time my age is only 13 years. So my grandfather say, yes, it is very simple thing. Before our all ponds and lakes, when the rains is coming, that water collect in the lakes and ponds. But now they are all silted. So when the rains is coming, so the all water moving to the village, in the village, because the village is settling down instead. So this is a very simple understanding about the flood. So I asked, what is the way we can make the flood-free village? So he say yes, but we need the community support. But this village related with a, a special caste called Rajput, they are the only the warriors, but they are not working on this type of the efforts. So I told to my grandfather, you can make a free flood free this village. So he say, yes, we can make, but why? If this community is not coming forward, so why I am making? So finally, after some long time, he convinced from me and he tell me, yes, we can explore the solution. We can make a pal, a earthen bund, where the broken that water and moving to the village. So we can make flood-free village. So Martin, this is my first incident in my life about the water. And now my village is completely flood free. No flood in coming in my native village. This story is older more than 50 years in my native village. My village called Dola. After some time, after some years, I involved with total revolution, and that is a political movement. So that time I am the student of college, and after that, when I joined the government of India, so my first posting at the Rajasthan, that is the desert area of India, Rajasthan, and semi-desert and desert. So my posted in the government of India in Jaipur city. So I'm working 4 years with the government, and I feel, oh yes, in the government, what the need of the community and what the need of my real pupil who is needed. So we can't do that. Some order coming from Delhi, and we follow that order. So this is not. I'm not comfortable with this service. So I resigned, and I moved to the semi-desert area called Gopalpura village. That village without completely displaced.
Mm.
Not a single youth living in that village, only the old people living. But basically, my experience of the traditional medicine, Ayurvedic doctor. So they all people suffering by malnutrition. So I start the treatment with Ayurveda to that pupil, and they treated. And after the treatment, one old man called Mangu Kaka. Mangu Kaka say, we not need your medicine, we not need your education, we need water. If you are living in my village, so you do something for water. If you are not doing for water, you go away from
Mm.
my village. So this type of the hard, hot uh, uh, say. So I ask how that time my age is 26. 26-year old. So I told to him, I'm 26-year old. So now how many days and how many years needed learning for water? He said, only 2 days you'll need the learning for water. So, my dear Martin, only 2 days in my
Mm.
life, one day I understand the geohydromorphology, control the evaporation loss, and recharge the underground aquifers. So he show me the way, and he put in the well, dry well in 25 wells, and I learned from him the recharging the underground aquifers and making river revival. So one day for that, and second day he teach he show me the way of learning and teach me from take me in a ridge of the river and walk with river, and he show me the way of selection of the site where you make a dam and what type of the local material you can use and what is the way you can make a conflict resolution of the communities. So five things he teach me in second day. So the second day is my second PhD about the natural engineering of rejuvenation of the river, and this engineering with fully consciousness and equally concerned to the need of human being and the nature, the respect of nature. So the two PhD he completed in my life in only 2 days. So after that, I'm working now. Now I am working in the drought-prone area, the desert area, and semi-desert area. So my life, last 50 years, in the water. Sometimes the total revolution, political movement, that is very short time. But
Mm.
the full life of my span, 50 years span completed now in water.
Yeah.
So this is the story of my
Hmm.
life.
Yeah, and
And
I think also,
most of the
so
story you know, my dear.
yeah, thank you for sharing. Actually, I did learn parts from your native village that I didn't know that part of your story, so it was also very interesting for
Yeah.
me. And I mean, what is also very powerful and impressive about your story is that you built that first lake, this first water harvesting structure in Gopalpura. I also had the privilege at visiting it. But then over the next decades, you created a movement, and many people started learning these techniques and replicating ways of infiltrating rainwater in the ground, filling up the groundwater tables. And I wonder if you could share a little bit about like how were you actually able to, we say, upscale it, like to apply it to the, like how did this example turn into a movement? Because you always use the word community in the context of ecological regeneration. Like for you, these two things really seem to be one almost. So how did you mobilize the communities?
Yes, yes. You know, my first work in Gopalpura village. So the Gopalpura village is create a visual impact. After that work, the reverse migration of youth in the village and the ecological rejuvenation start in the when the moisture come in the soil.
Mm,
So one way the ecological rejuvenation and other way is the social rejuvenation. The social rejuvenation because the people reverts to the own village, and ecological rejuvenation because the moisture come in the soil. So the seeds is rejuvenating. So these two things is very important for me. I can show the community and I ask the questions from community and community ask to me and I physically show them. They understand. Our eyes can understand what is the impact of this. So the when the visual impact you created, so your work is replicating and scaling up if you continuously working on that line. The continuity within the community is most important factor. So, due to my continuity, my community understand, oh, yes, the visual impact, the water come in the well, and the
mm,
people doing agriculture and growing grain, wheat, and mustard and vegetables. So the enjoyment come in the life. So that is the most important, Martin, in my personal life. When I see
mhm,
that change, when I my eyes seen that change, so I feel very much energetic. So I start the big way march, showing the impact and invite the people. You come and go to the Gopalpura and you see my Arvari river. My Arvari river is flowing. So this message is spreading and a lot of people coming from region and state and country. So that movement creating a really water literacy movement.
mm,
That is the making a water literacy movement. Water literacy movement, one hand, underground aquifer recharge, other hand, the management on surface, and other hand, catching the clouds. What is the way we can catch the clouds? And what is the way we can make a rainy region for rains? So these three things is very important in my life in the first decade. After the first decade, I understand the
mm,
things and I gain confidence. And you know, not only confidence, Martin, the first this work start with my love.
mm,
Love to water, love to ecology, love to nature. And when I'm doing love to nature, so my hand is acting. And when the acting my hand, so making change, the waves will change and the change the community sentiments and community join with nature. And when this action creating, so build trust and confidence in my mind. and the confidence of my mind making the atmosphere with the community. So they
Mm,
see in my confidence, and that confidence making a faith for this work. So
mm-hmm,
that real faith in my heart and my head and my hand, when that real faith come in my heart and my hand and my head, so the people see this visual change in my body and my action and my talking. So that change is motivate to the people, and that motivation making a big change in my country of my work.
yeah, thank you. And it's really palpable when you like when I visited in the communities that you work with, this motivating effect and the power of community also. But I also want to ask about the ecological and climatic impacts of this restoration work, because and again, like I almost couldn't believe it until I was actually there, because it's such a like fairy tale almost. It sounds like a fairy tale in times of climate breakdown, like a big region. We're talking of thousands of square miles where like average temperatures drop, where soil and air humidity rises, 13 rivers that were restored. Um, Rain patterns that became more balanced, and rain that increased. So I wonder if you could talk a little bit about what is the connection between the type of decentralized community-driven water management that you have implemented and our prospects at restoring climatic balance.
My dear Martin, you know the history. You know, when I start the work, the people of my region, they are singing the song. Yes, the clouds come, but we don't know where they are going with the angerness without rain.
Mm-hmm.
So the people, the sadful songs singing that time. The clouds come every day, every year, but they are not giving the rains and the water to this region. And when the clouds angerness start, so my son and the wife of son, they go away to the city, and we don't know what is our future. We are the old age people. So what is my old age? So they are very much worry and bother. But impact of the water conservation, the greenery come, and the greenery creating a very little microclouds, because the greenery transparent trans evaporate the water in the leaves, greenery,
Mm-hmm.
and evaporate my water bodies. So this trans evaporation and evaporation making moisture, and that moisture making due to the clouds, micro clouds in my region, they invite macro clouds. Macro clouds come from the Arabian Sea. So
Mm-hmm.
the micro clouds in my region and the macro clouds from sea. So they met and they are giving the rains in my region. What is the history of this whole story? What I tell you,
Mm.
you know, if if you recharge the aquifer and the water come, you start the agriculture. So the greenery of agriculture making some moisture in the atmosphere and the transportation and
Evapotranspiration.
evaporation and trans evaporation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Trans evaporation. So these both way making micro clouds. So and you know the in the atmosphere have the carbon. So the only greenery doing the sequestration of the carbon. And this whole process, not the mitigation, this is the process called adaptation. Our community changed the behavior with the nature. Before, they not love to nature, but now they are loving to nature. So nature giving everything to the community. Now they are growing agriculture. So this change, this behavioral change, making a atmosphere building in the region. Due to this atmosphere building, people doing in a very good way, linking crop pattern with rain pattern. They are making a village community council and river basin council. And the whole river basin council we called parliament, river parliament. That river parliament making some rule and regulations, what type of the crops you can grow and what type of the crops you can't grow. So, and but some student, some youth is not listening us. They say no, we are growing sugarcane. So we make a very hard discipline. If you are growing 1 bigha sugarcane, so you are growing 4 bigha mustard or gram, because the less water using in the mustard and gram. So the compulsory agriculture pattern we made. So due to that discipline, use of water, we make a big change in my region and my community really enjoying with agriculture. But that agriculture, due to the disciplined use of water. So one hand we conserving rainwater, and other hand we making discipline, the discipline use to the community decision, due to the community river parliament, we make a sustainable big change.
So, Rajendra, you've also worked in an area called Chambal, where there was a lot of conflict and violent crime. And I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about how your work on decentralized community-driven water management has helped create peace and togetherness in the local communities.
Yes, you know, my Alwar work is the oldest after my native village. So my Alwar work make big change. So that change creating impact in the surrounding region. So when I understand the people of Chambal, why they are living with gun, because without water, no employment, no food, no water. So they are living with gun and killing and kidnapping and robbery and all illegal things is going on. And they are living out of the touch. And finally, I make a condition. The all women of the bandit, they were living in the houses in the village. So we start the work with them, and they are ready. So one woman called Bhagwati, she done first the water conservation work, and she motivate her husband, and her husband admit to the court, and uh, after the proceeding of the court, he relieve and he join us
Mm.
after the all judgment in the favor of the judgment. So that is the real story in short, very short. What is the way we motivate to the bandit for the water? And this one bandit full time working with us, and creating atmosphere. And he say, now we are understand what is the real good and what is the better. So who is understand my voice and listening, they surrender the gun and they do the water conservation. And water conservation making our life peaceful, prosperous, and the real enjoyment of life. We really enjoy the life if we give up the gun. With gun, our life is disastrous. So
Mm.
this atmosphere by our motivated friend who relieved from the court, they join, and now today more than 600, more than 6,332 bandits give up the gun,
Mm.
surrender the gun, and they are doing agriculture.
Wow.
Before, during the day, nobody can enter in this region.
Mm-hmm.
Now, anyone can go, and anyone can, anytime can go. My three foreigner friend, Jack, Lucy, Amit Sharma, they made a film.
Mm-hmm.
The bandit changed to the farmer, and Jack make a film, Peace Plan by Water. And you know, they live with them and they made the film. So I can say now where the killing and kidnapping, now the all people living with peace and prosperity.
Mm-hmm.
Now very good agriculture, very good animal husbandry, and the
Mm.
youth get the employment in this region. So this is possible only by water conservation and loving to nature. The they start new farming. They are making new lands because here is not very good soil. The red stony soil land here. So now every year the prosperity, yes, coming up, and enjoyment and
Yeah.
happiness is my Chambal region. You know,
Yeah.
the violent people now make peaceful non-violent, and they enjoying with
Mm-hmm.
non-violent economy. So this is the big change in my region.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. I think it's such a powerful story also because it shows how these issues of ecology and society are so much more connected than we think, and how much both at the core have to do with water, and how like a natural, sensible water management can be a key also to social peace. I think confronting what humanity is confronting, this is a very powerful message. And it also leads me to this other question, which is like if you could tell us about your vision for how this work will go out into the world. Also, you're starting, or you have started working also more outside of India. You are working on spreading this methodology to different parts of the world. And what is your vision also as we are confronting a growing climate crisis, ecological emergency? What can you see will be the impact as community-driven, decentralized water management is applied to more and more parts of the world?
Martin, you know, today the world over climatic emergency, and this climatic emergency in my country also. So now I, I am working in my country in 9 agroecological climatic zones. One is Chambal, other is Alwar, and other is Mewat and Dang. and desert area of
Mm.
Jaisalmer and Badmer, that and Maharashtra, Karnataka. So these uh, all work with the community driven, decentralized water and natural resource management. So due to this work, I learn lot of things from my community. My my wisdom, my knowledge really come from my community. What I learn from my community, I am doing from different places. So my vision for future, now this world, due to the climate change and global warming, facing drought and flood and fire. So we meet to the communities where this crisis. The 7 days before, I'm in Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan.
Mm-hmm.
Uzbekistan, a country who is before with Russia. When this country with the Russia, the two river, one river called uh, Sur, Sur Darya, and the other river called Amu Darya. So
Mm.
the two big river, they are meeting with RLC. RLC is a big sea.
Yeah.
So that time, more than millions people survive with the fishing of RLC, because that RLC water is the sweet water, Darya water. When the Russia divert these two rivers, now that all region is a desert. The RLC is completely dry and dead, no water. And the Amu Darya and Sur Darya is really dead. Lot of pupil is facing crisis and crying. So they invite me. I go there. I seen that. So this sadful story is everywhere. Who have the money, who have the power, so they encroach the rivers, encroach the sea, and what is the way they like, they use that.
Mm.
So this is a disaster of name of development. So
Right.
this disaster and the name of development going on everywhere in this world. So I'm saying, if we really live with the peaceful and happiness in our life, so this greedy development is not for us. This greedy development creating disaster in our life and next generation life. So we stop that and we do a small, beautiful, community driven, decentralized natural water resource management. So that water resource management make a drought and flood and fire free nation and fire free region and fire free state. So now my my work mostly with the land, with the ground. But the experience of the ground, we are making change in the mind of the powerful politicians, powerful bureaucrats, and powerful policymakers.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere we get success, somewhere we not get success. But my plan is now no need of the diversion of the rivers, no need of the displacing to the community wisdom and indigenous knowledge system. The indigenous knowledge system loving to nature and loving to human being both. But these government is not loving to the nature and not loving to the humanity and human being. So where the powerful government just seen the economic infrastructure. The economic infrastructure is not a security of climate change, not the security of global warming, not the security of water, not the security of food, not the security of air, and not the security of life. Yes, we have the security of life, security of climate, only loving to nature, loving and living with non-violence way with nature and with human being. If we are living with love and respect to each other, so this love and respect creating confidence for non-violence action, the peaceful actions, making faith and dedication to nature and dedication to human being. So this is my vision
Hmm.
for my future, and I am working on that line.
Yeah, and I think it's also very powerful to imagine, like seeing these different regions in the world that you're going to, and imagining to be able to replicate what you've done in India in different parts of the world. And obviously, this was also a big part of what motivated us to make our film, Water is Love, Ripples of Regeneration, to support this movement, because at this point we are facing this crossroads of like either aggravating climate disaster with more and more drought and flood, with fire, with heat waves, or coming together with local communities to really help regenerate Earth's own climate cooling and regenerating systems, which is Earth's own ecology, which really is water cycles and ecosystems. And this is like a core message that we need to spread, but also to organize in our local watersheds, in our regional, like in our bioregions, to actually come together and remember that like water concerns us all. There is no private water management. There's only communal water management. And so, yeah, thank you so much for the work that you've been doing for all these decades to show this possibility to the world, to show that it's possible to do it at such large scale, that people can organize in this way, and also for being such a good friend of ours, for being part of our film and for offering your time here today. So thank you so much, dear Rajendra Singh, Dr. Rajendra Singh. And I also want to say that,
Martin,
go ahead.
Martin, our film Love of Water is really creating awareness
Mm,
world over. Lot of people seen your film. They're really beautiful and wonderful and creating awareness and
mm-hmm.
creating really love with water. So now I'm speaking a very big university in Delhi. So I told to them, if you want the healthy life, if you want the happiness in your life, so you start love with water. If
Mm-hmm.
you are doing love with water, water give everything to you, healthy life
Yes,
and everything. So
yes.
now your film is really helping world over a create
Thank you so much, Dirajendra. And I also want to say to everybody that Water is Love, the film is now available for free on our website, which is waterislovefilm.org, waterisfilm.org. I hope you will make use of it, and we will hear from you in the comments. So have a wonderful day. Thank you, Rajendra.
Thank you very much. Welcome.